प्रेम सूर्य श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। सबको जय सीताराम। Let me this morning welcome each and every one of you as we join together in satsang on this wonderful Sunday morning here from the Mandir at 43rd Street in San Fernando, the Krishna Mandir. I want to welcome all devotees, those of you who are viewing us from Trinidad and Tobago, those of you who may be viewing us from places abroad, as during this most auspicious, this wonderful period of Navratri, we come together this morning. For many of you who viewed us yesterday evening, you would have recognized last night was the first night of the Navratri Puja, and we will be continuing Puja again this evening from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Just by way of reminder, for those of you who wish to join with us in Puja, you are asked to have at your disposal and at your hand fingertips the following items so that you can follow along. Your murti or picture of the Divine Mother Durga Mata, your murti or picture of Ganesh Bhagwan, a thali with a diya that you prepare for arati, your havan kun with either cotton in it that can be burnt or mango wood, and in that as well, if you're using a mango wood, you would want some camphor. You should have a little katori with ghee that you will be using for your havan. In another thali, you will have the following samagri, and that is some washed white rice, some brown sugar, some gugul, a little bit of clove and til, and if you have havan samagri, we have that as well. You will have a lota with water with a mango leaf, and if possible, you will have the following things as well: some sindoor, hardi, chandan, perfume, agarbatti, matches, a little bit of cotton, flowers, obviously. And you will have some palm leaves, you will have some neem leaves, some doop grass, and if you can have a couple bay leaves as well. So those are some of the things that you will need. In addition to which, you prepare your prasad, and that prasad can either be lapsin zuhari, it can be bhog, it can be sweet rice, it can be fruits, whatever you have those things. And some cotton that you will use for offering, your matches and those things that you will need to perform your puja with. Notwithstanding that you may not have those things, you can join along and you can perform the puja with us mentally, even if you do not have the items that I've just mentioned. Please do not lose sight of the fact that it is a most wonderful, most powerful occasion, and we should all, notwithstanding that we are unable to congregate in person physically at the mandir, nonetheless we can still perform our pujas at home. And we can do so in the company of our family and our loved ones. And we should use the opportunity, notwithstanding this different time, use the opportunity to its fullest to once more recharge ourselves spiritually and to give us that energy and that courage to move forward. This morning, for our Sunday morning service, we will be following a similar format as we would normally do every Sunday. And we therefore invite you to join with us in your homes when we are performing the Sandhya. We would invite you to have a lota with water nearby, to have your families congregate together. And let us all glorify Bhagwan this wonderful morning. Let us pray to Him. For those of you who are faced with some difficulty, you may not be feeling well, you may have a loved one who is ill or ailing or afflicted in some way, it is an opportunity to pray. For those of us who are facing uncertain times financially, as far as our job security is concerned, again, it is a time for us to reconnect with Bhagwan and to remove those problems. For younger ones who are in school and you are facing challenging times as well in a new learning environment, it is also an opportunity to once more rid yourself of that stress and that anxiety and to reconnect with Bhagwan. I invite us all therefore this morning as we begin with the invocation mantras to focus our mind this morning on murti of choice. We will be focusing on the Devi as it is the period of Navratri, and I want you to gaze at her face as the image comes up on screen. See the smiling and wonderful countenance of the Divine Mother, that love which only a mother can give to her children. And this morning, let us all surrender ourselves utterly and completely at her lotus-like feet. We assume that position of reverence, we join our arms together, we go within as we invoke Bhagwan through our invocation mantras. Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा जयन्ती मङ्गलाकाली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा रात्रि स्वाहा स्वधा नमोऽस्तुते वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मङ्गराय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्रमवेरसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायै पतये नमः ॐ मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जयतीन्द्रियं बुद्धिमानं वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुखं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसि नमामि ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम. We join together as we glorify divine in opening kirtan.
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, 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 प्रभु जी मेरे आओ. भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम. ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया. भजले गोविंदम भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम. ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया. भजले गोविंदम. प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ. चारियों रागेरा भयो उदासी, चारियों रागेरा भयो उदासी. आँखियाँ हरी बरसन की प्यासी, आँखियाँ हरी दर्शन की प्यासी. आपकी प्यास निगाहो जिया हो बहाओ. प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, आपकी प्यास निगाहो जिया हो बहाओ. प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ. जीवन तेरा प्रभु कोई न जाने, जीवन तेरा प्रभु कोई न जाने. प्रभु तुझे प्रभु कोई न जाने, प्रभु तुझे प्रभु कोई न जाने. आप बढ़िया बजाओ जियाओ अब आओ. प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, आप बढ़िया बजाओ जियाओ अब आओ. प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे
भजने गोविंदम प्रेम सुरे वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. This morning, during this period of Navratri, we continue in our worship of the Divine Mother as we offer our love and our adoration to her. Let us all now join together as we glorify the Devi this morning by singing the Chalisa, Durga Chalisa, as we glorify Durga Mata.
जय श्री दुर्गा अम्बिका जगत वाहिनी मां तुम्हरो चालीसा रचो की जय होगी सदा. नमो नमो दुर्गे सुभद्रनि नमो नमो अम्बे रूपहरि
Durga Mata ki jai, Jagadamba Devi Maya ki jai. Having glorified the Divine Mother by rendering to her these 40 verses of Durga Chalisa, we now prepare ourselves to perform Sandhya as we would normally do each and every Sunday morning. And we invite you, for those of you who are able to have at hand and water with water, mango leaf in, tulsi leaf in the water as well. As we perform the rituals and as we recite these verses, and we invite you all together with your families at home to please join with us as we engage in the Sandhya. Good evening now. Let us be safe together. Let us be read together and united and strengthened together too. Let us not be jealous of each other. Archman, we take water now in our right palm as each mantra is recited. Take our palm, place it to our lips, and visualize that we are sipping this water.
Om Amrito Vasadasi Swaha. Om Amrita Vidhanamasi Swaha. Om Satyam Yashahasmi Mali Shri Shreyama Swaha.
O God, protector and supporter as you are of the universe, be kind and bestow upon us truth, fame, beauty, and prosperity. In the same manner, we support it from our right palm as the mantra is being chanted.
Om Shanno Devi Ravishtaya Apo Bhavantu Pitaye Shanno Ravi Sravantu Namaha.
Omnipresent God, be kind to us and grant the happiness and objects we need. We continue now with physical purification, taking water in our left palm, using the third finger of our right hand or the ring finger. We dip into the water on each occasion, touching the various parts of the body. We start with the mouth.
Om Pranava.
Our nose.
Om Pranaha Pranaha.
Eyes.
Om Chakshu Chakshu.
Ears.
Om Srotam Srotam.
Navel.
Om Nabhi.
Heart.
Om Hridayam.
Throat.
Om Kantha.
Our head.
Om Shiraha.
Both our arms.
Om Bahubhyam Yashovanam.
Our palm and back of palm.
Om Karanala Varadrishte.
O God, let my words, life, ears, neck, heart, throat, and head be pure and powerful, and arms strong and renowned. Let my palm and back of palm perform religious rites. We continue with Narjana, and in the same manner, taking water in our left palm and using the third finger of our right hand, we touch the various parts of the body. We start once more with our head.
Om Bhupula Shirasi.
Eyes,
Om Bhuvahamna Tulivayo.
our throat,
Om Swahamna Tukante.
heart,
Om Mahamna Tulivaye.
navel,
Om Janahapuna Tunabhya.
both legs,
Om Tapahapuna Tupalayo.
again our head,
Om Satyam Puna Tupuna Shirasi.
your palms together and pass over your entire body.
Om Tam Brahma Puna Sarvatra.
Let the region of womb help us purify our head. Let the region of Buha help us to purify our eyes. Let the region of Swaha help us to purify our throat. Let the region of Maha help us to purify our heart. Let the region of Jana help us to purify our navel. Let the region of Satya help us to purify our legs. Let the region of Satya again help us to purify our heads. Let Brahma help us to purify every place. We sit in an upright position now as we engage in pranayama. We breathe in deeply, and as we exhale, we recite each of the following mantras. Tendency for creation arose in the divine mind of the absolute God. Then came chaos, then came subtle water, then day and night. The sun, the moon, heaven, the world and horizon were created as were in the previous creation. Surya Vasana.
Devam vahanti vedavaha Drishe Vishraya Suryam Om Uvimrata Sahabare Swapashyanta Udaram Devam Devatam Suryam Pranamam Jyoti Uttamam Om Chitram Devanam Uditaranekam Chakshurnetrasya Varnesyavi Apratyava Prithvi Antariksha Surya Atma Jagata Kashrujasya Swaha.
O God, you are beyond darkness. The luminous sun represents you. Everything in this universe proclaims your glory. The wise are surprised and illuminated by your supreme nature. You have given visions of the sun, the sea, the fire, the heaven, the middle region, and the earth are being sustained by you. You are the soul of the universe. Brahma.
Om Tachishuriti Varitam Urasta Shubhamuchara Ashima Sharada Shatam Jeevi Ma Sharada Shatam Surya Ma Sharada Shatam Brahma Ma Sharada Shatam Adina Shama Sharada Shatam Bhuyascha Sharada Shatam.
Omniscient God, let us see for 100 years. Let us live for 100 years. Let us hear for 100 years. Let us live for more than 100 years. We bow our head in reverence now as we pay obeisance or respects to Brahma, to the teachers, to the rishis, to the devatas, and to our Vedas.
Om Brahmani Namaha. Om Acharyebhyo Namaha. Om Rishibhyo Namaha. Om Devibhyo Namaha. Om Om Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha. Om Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha.
Salutations to Brahma, to Preceptor, to sages, to gods, and to healers. Once more in upright position, we sit as we chant this most powerful mantra, the Gayatri Mantra, 3 times.
Om Bhurvuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurvuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurvuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat.
Let us be in union with your luminous nature, who is the creator of the 3 worlds and the giver of our intellect. We join in Prabhu.
Om Namah Shambhavaya Cha Mayo Bhavaya Cha Namah Shankaraya Cha Manashanaya Cha Namah Shivaya Cha Shivakaraya Cha. Om Vyamasi Vyamayi Dehi. Om Balamasi Balamayi Dehi. Om Tejuvasi Tejomayi Dehi. Om Ojuvasi Ojomayi Dehi. Om Manirasi Manirmayi Dehi. Om Sahasi Sahomayi Dehi.
Salutations to the Almighty, the giver of bliss, happiness, and peace. May we be blessed with energy, strength, glory, courage, and patience. We join together now in universal peace prayer.
Sarvesham Mangalam Bhuyat. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukhabhavare. Nandantu Sarva Bhutani. Niratankaani Santu Cha. Prithirastu Parasparam. Siddhirastu Cha Karmanam. Swasyastu Rajo Vidyapa. Shamrajabhyastavivastu. Swasyastu Vipale Nityam. Shantirastu Chatusvare. Shantivastu Devasya. Bhurvuvah Svah Shivam Tatha. Sarvada Shantirastu Na. Soumya Bhavantu Gurani. Vande Vajanata Swasta. Vata Deva Vadevahi. Prajapale Devesha. Shantim Jagatmate. Yomi Adyasnidiyate Tasya. Shivamastu Sada Bhuvi. Yasya Mam Vesti Loke Asmin. Suapi Bhadrani Pashyantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
Let there be good to all. Let all be free from sickness. Let all see good, and let none suffer. Let all be happy and fearless. Let there be sympathy for each other and success for all good. Let there be prosperity to the leader who protects the people every day, and also to the people. Let the bipeds and the quadrupeds be prosperous every day. Let there be peace in gods and in the three worlds. Let us and all other beings have peace everywhere. Creator and sustainer as you are of the world, you encourageth godliness and establisheth peace amongst the people. Who is my friend today? Let him be in peace. And who is my enemy? Let him also be in peace. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Sadhguru Jai Sitaram, everyone. We come to you, as I said at the beginning, from the Krishna Mandir of 43rd Street in San Fernando, during this wonderful period of Navratri, a period which, like earlier this year, was fraught with some uncertainty and some peculiar aspects of it in terms of how we would normally perform our puja to the Divine Mother. As a result of the effects of the pandemic brought about by the COVID-19 virus, as we are all aware, congregational gatherings are not permitted, they are not prescribed in an effort to preserve lives and preserve health. But nonetheless, we continue in our daily lives, and therefore our puja to the Divine, our prayer, our pradhana, our glorification of Bhagavan does not change. What has changed is the way in which and the dynamic in which we do things. And one of the things that is a great tradition of Sanatana Dharma is the ability to adapt to all circumstances and at all times. The way in which we perform our puja can be done based upon our geography, where we are, based upon time, where we are at in our particular lives or in a particular point in history, and based upon circumstance and circumstances that are forced upon us, not upon circumstances that we merely find convenient. And with that having been said, therefore, we have adapted, and you have adapted, to performing your puja in an online environment. This is in positives, yes. You don't have to confront the traffic. You have your family close at hand. You are in the comfort of your homes. But there are some negatives. One can never truly get the vibration and the energy that one can get from a congregational atmosphere. And it is therefore noteworthy that on occasions such as this, like Navratri, Mahashivaratri, Ganesh Utsav, the manner of celebration is one that is not individualistic, but it is congregational. So that we can collectively draw from the strengths of others, that we can collectively have that powerful vibration that we can use for upliftment, and that we can assist those persons who are in need of being uplifted. These are the benefits of having festivals of this nature, and that is the rich philosophy. This morning, my pravachan is very brief, and it is about the spirit of Navratri. There are many persons who wonder, for example, about the many peculiarities and things that are associated with Navratri. What is right? What is wrong? Is this being done properly? Is it not being done properly? All of these questions always confront our minds. First thing, there are 4 different times of the year that Navratri is observed, but there are 2 main ones. The one that occurs in the month of Chaitra, which culminates in the observance of Ram Navami, and then this period, which is in the month of Ashwin, when it culminates usually in Dussehra, the Vijayadashami, and that is usually the time when Ram Leela being performed, the effigy of Ravan is burnt, and that symbolizes a powerful victory. So those 2 major periods of Navratri are usually observed, culminating in a wonderful, wonderful occasion. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, we are told it is a period of Navratri. Now means 9, Navratri means night. And therefore we think, well, there must be 9 nights. But if we observe carefully on this occasion, there are only 8. So we started on Saturday and we will end on Saturday night, that being the Navami. And that, if you check, it is 8 nights according to the solar calendar and what we are accustomed to. So therefore there is that element of confusion. Panditji, how could it be Navratri when we only have 8 nights? We should be reminded that our calculations in terms of the Pancham is based upon a lunar equivalent. Hence the reason we had Adhik Mas just ending last week. And therefore the lunar equivalent, each lunar day is not equivalent at all times to 24 hours. And therefore today, for example, there are two days that are falling on this particular solar day. So there is the second and the third day that is falling. The Vidya and the Tritiya fall today. And therefore that accounts for why we do not normally have in all occasions 9 nights as we would calculate. So that's another issue that I hope is clarified. And don't let anybody disturb your mind about that. Then there is the confusion, well, how do we worship? Should we have a coconut? Should we have the murti? Should we have the 9 kanyas? Should we worship the Divine Mother in different forms every night? How should we do this? And the answer to that is that it depends upon your tradition. Your tradition in terms of how you're accustomed practicing, your tradition in terms of how you are accustomed to worship. Some persons, for example, will craft a murti of the Divine Mother, and then, in conclusion, that murti would be, after it's been pujaed for the entire period, it will be immersed into the water. Different traditions. But let us ask ourselves, what is the constant? The constant is our worship of Bhagavan, that Supreme Brahm, in the form of the Divine Mother. There's much discussion about the representation, that divine energy, that Shakti, Purush and Prakriti, many deep philosophy and wonderful philosophy. But let us keep it very simple for this morning. We worship that Supreme Brahm in the form of the Mother. Why? Why do we have to worship her in this iconography in the form of the feminine aspect? Why do we have to worship her in the form of the Divine Mother? Well, the answer is we don't have to. It's a choice. It is a choice that we can make deliberately to worship God in this form. What's the power then of worshiping her in this form? Think about devotees, brothers and sisters. If I were to tell you, I worship God, and you have no concept in our limited physical minds about what God is or looks like or anything, because of our own idiosyncrasies, our own training, our own makeup, in order for us to identify something, we must have a visual. We must have a visual to know what it is. If I tell you ice cream, immediately you know what it looks like and you can relate. If I tell you apple, immediately you can conceptualize and you know what it means. If I tell you Panditji, you will know which Panditji you visualize. So we must draw the visuals. So Rishis and Munis have prescribed these forms for us. And the Divine Mother is one such form. So that we can immediately visualize and focus our mind. Why Mother? Why not? For all of us, there is one relationship in this world that we are all able to have in varying types of degrees on the spectrum. But we all have a mother. There are unfortunate circumstances when people may not know their biological mother. Or because of certain actions, they are not together with their biological mother. But the point is, somewhere along our lives, the majority of us will have the benefit of that love. We will have the benefit of that relationship, and we would know the power of a mother's love. And devotees, brothers and sisters, think about it. If we know that love, we know the lengths to which our mother would go to nurture us, to protect us, to guide us, to uplift us, then just imagine how much more and how great and how more powerful that love of Bhagavan, that universal mother is to all of us. So we have an inkling, we have an idea, and we can build upon that. And that is the potency of worshipping the Divine Mother in this form. Sanatana Dharma does not discriminate between genders and say male only or female only. There is equality, and that in itself is a powerful message, especially in this time in which we live. There's so much fighting about women's rights and gender rights and so on. Sanatana Dharma has all along told us equality. Regardless of what may have been corrupted in societal traditions, that is not what our scriptures teach us, and powerfully represented by the icons of the Divine Mother. Powerfully represented by the Vedic prayer that we all know, Tvameva Mata Jakta Tvameva, God, you are mother and father. So never lose sight of that equality. But the worship of the Divine Mother, her puja, is very powerful. Why? Why should we worship the Divine Mother? Why should we worship God? What is the whole point of this aspect of puja and worship and all of these things? It is for our own benefit, devotees, brothers and sisters. We recognize that we are all spiritual beings on a physical journey. That is our teaching. Within each and every one of us is that Jiva Atma, that is a spark and a part of that Paramatma. So we are all spiritual beings on a physical journey. But we have been deluded by the Maya of this physical journey. We have been caught up by the trappings of this physical world, and that's why COVID has hit us and has hit us so hard. Because the material things that we're accustomed to having, the conveniences and all of those things, are now taken away from us. And we are forced to adapt, and some of us are not coping well. But our scriptures and our teachings give us a powerful message that this is Maya. All of our scriptures tell us this, each and every one in a different way. Why? Because each of us have a different inclination. Different things appeal to us. That's why many people are indeed caught up in Navratri, because they love to worship God in the form of the Divine Mother. Yet still others love to worship God in the form of Ganesh Bhagwan. And you find so many people participating in Ganesh Utsav. Others still love Vishnu Bhagwan, and they love Janamashtami and Krishna Bhagwan, they love Ram, Prabhu Shri Ram and Ram Navami, and they will worship in that way. Others still Hanumanji, and they will worship Hanumanji. And others still other forms, Shankar Bhagwan and others. None is right, none is wrong. They are all different pathways to the same Brahman. Different pathways that have been given to us because of our own inclination. There's so many people that love to worship Krishna Bhagwan as Bali Krishna because they understand the purity and innocence of the love of a child. And therefore they can understand how that can translate to the love for God. So during this period of Navratri, we worship at Supreme Brahman in the form of the Divine Mother. Why do we worship? Why is it that the Saptapadi, the Durga Saptashati, the Devi Mahatma, why is it a conversation that takes place between Surat and Samadhi and Rishi Vedas? Why is it that those two individuals, Surat and Samadhi, have found themselves in the company of Vedas, seeking answers to their questions when they're in a time of crisis? When they've both been dispossessed of all their material possessions, when they have lost their relationships and their family affiliations. That is the crisis that they're in, mental and physical turmoil, and it is in that condition that they were only then ready to accept the teaching and the instruction of the Supreme Brahman, of the power of the Divine Mother, of the power of God to remove this Maya and this illusion. And the charting of the entire Devi Mahatmya, that wonderful, wonderful conversation gives us the instruction. It is no different in Bhagavad Gita. It is no different in our Puranas. It is no different in the Vedas. It is just the format in which it is presented. So what are we seeking? We are seeking, or should be seeking, the upliftment of ourselves. We should be seeking the removal of all the things and qualities and habits that preclude us and prevent us from reaching Godhead. From attaining that ultimate goal of moksha, where this Jivatma merges with Paramatma. This is what we should be seeking. We should be seeking the removal of this Maya. And let me draw an analogy. Think of a baby in the arms of its mother. That baby is sleeping very peacefully, it might seem. When you look at a baby from time to time, you see the baby burst into a smile, but the baby is sleeping. The baby is not awake. It's not being stimulated physically to make the baby smile. Nobody is going, coochie, 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 nice baby. The baby is fast asleep and there's a big smile on the baby's face. And then there are times you see a frown on the baby's face, but the baby is still sleeping. What is it that is going on there? It is a dream state that that baby is in, where that baby is experiencing a reality. In the dream state, you and I, similarly, in the dream state, we experience realities We get up and say, oh God, I had a bad dream because it was so real. We get up and say, oh, I had such a good dream. We get up and say, I don't know what kind of dream, what number should play in the Hopefully we're not doing that. But the point is, when we're in that state, what we're dreaming seems to be a reality, and that's another discussion in wonderful deep yoga philosophy. But when we awaken, when that baby awakens, where is that baby? That baby is in the arms of the mother, protected, nurtured, cared, and is waking to a reality of that baby that is one that is so protective. In the same way as we go through our day-to-day lives and this physical journey, what we perceive to be a reality for us spiritually is not a reality. This spiritual journey that we are on is confronted by Maya and illusion, and so we get caught up. This relationship is important to me, this boyfriend is important to me, this girlfriend is important to me, going to school and getting a scholarship is important to me, going and getting a job and becoming the best that I can in my profession is important to me. And then comes the attachment and the greed. I must have the biggest house, I must have the biggest car, my bank account must be this, that, and the other. I must have the most prestigious title, and when we go on in our lives caught up in this, we are in fact overwhelmed by delusion, by Maya. Because at the end of this physical journey, you're not taking your house, you're not taking your car, you're not taking any bank account with you or any land, you're definitely not going with your wife or your children or boyfriend or girlfriend. You are going by yourself. And what are you taking with you when you're going? You are taking that punya that you have acquired by the good and meritorious deeds that can only come about when you recognize that you are a spiritual being on a physical journey. And that is the power of the Divine Mother, to remove that illusion so that we recognize who we are, and it's said in different forms. Wonderful, wonderful chant. Shivoham, Shivoham, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am Shiva, I am Durga, I am Krishna, I am Ram. From the time we recognize ourselves, and that's why we name our children along those lines, so we are reminded powerfully who you really are. Who am I? That is a question asked globally by all persons in all states, all strata of society. Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. What must come is the realization. And that realization comes, and it is afforded to us every year, year after year. These opportunities are afforded to us to perform our puja, to be reminded by our physical preparation, our mental preparation, by our spiritual preparation. And that's why you fast. That is why you stay away from things that you're normally accustomed to, all of the things that are so convenient in this life. You make that sacrifice. Whatever that sacrifice is, you make a sacrifice, so you recognize that some effort is required. You engage in your puja, you engage in your japam, you engage in your kirtanam, you engage in acts that assist others and uplift others, and by doing that, you are uplifting yourselves. Isn't that beautiful? That not only by assisting others that you are helping them, but you are also helping yourself, once the attitude is the correct one. You should not be doing things for show. I should not be coming here and say, oh, you see how nice I'm looking, I'm the pandit and whatever else. That should not be the attitude. I should not be thinking, well, I wonder how much people viewing me, boy, and it must be a couple hundred people, otherwise I'm not doing a good job. That is not the attitude. If one person is participating and one person is uplifted, that is a success. It is the attitude by which you do things. Every time you perform puja, your pandit will tell you the attitude is important. And therefore, this morning as I end, and I want to end to allow us a few moments of meditation, I want us to be reminded of what Navratri is, to remove yourselves from all of the chatter about what is right and what is wrong, to make sure you do it for the proper purposes and understand why you're doing it, and then share that message with those around you, in your family, in your community, other places. Encourage people to join, not join in doing the service, but join in uplifting themselves and others. Most powerful message. And was there a happy ending? Well, yes, at the end of Durga Saptashati, there was a happy ending for Surat and for Samadhi. And I assure you, if we live our lives by these prescripts, there will be a happy ending for us too. We focus now on the Divine Mother, to engage in a few moments of meditation before we close with Aarti. And I want you all in your homes to focus on the Divine Mother. If you have a murti of the Devi, then look at the murti. If you don't have a murti, because you're at work, wherever, then focus on the screen. And let us go through a very brief Manas Puja meditation this morning. I want you to sit upright with your eyes fully focused on the Divine Mother. I want you to breathe in deeply. Take a full breath, hold it in, and then as you exhale, we chant Om. And we will do that 3 times. Again. Final time. Feel that power of Om reverberating through every pore of your being. Gaze at the Murti of the Divine Mother, with your gaze moving from her feet slowly upwards, her legs, her arms, and resting finally on that smiling, compassionate face of the Devi. Notice the powerful weapons in her hands, the sword, the trishul, all of these weapons. But look at her face, very, very smiling, very compassionate, love-exuding. Now allow your gaze to move slowly back downwards, from her face to her arms, slowly moving down her legs, and then resting once more on her feet. Close your eyes now and feel yourself being transported far, far away from the physical place where you are. See yourself in the presence of the Divine Mother. And with your head touching her feet, visualize that you have tears flowing from your eyes, tears of love, tears of joy, because you're in the presence of the Divine Mother. She's right there with you. And use these tears to wash your feet again and again. And seek her forgiveness for any transgressions. Seek her blessing to overcome any problem. Seek her inspiration to go on. Visualize now that you're offering to the Divine Mother a beautiful flower. A flower that is most fragrant, that is most colorful, that is perfect in every way. And you pray to her, Ma, as I offer this to you with love, accept my love. Accept the offering that I make unto you, Ma. And be pleased with the offering. Offer to the Divine Mother beautiful chandan on her forehead as you adorn her. Ma, I adorn you with this beautiful chandan, this beautiful offering. Accept it. Offer to the Divine Mother now Aarti. Visualize in your hands a beautifully decorated thali with a diya burning resplendently, and pray to her, O Ma, in the same way that this light removes all darkness, in the same way, O Ma, let your blessing remove all of the darkness from my life, all of the ignorance, all of the anger, all of the untrammeled desires, all of the envy. Remove it all, O Ma. Again and again, you offer harity. And now, brothers and sisters, in your own words, let us all pray to the Divine Mother. Let us all seek her blessings as you pray and as we pray to her. Pray to her. Seek her blessing. Feel her touch and her caress. Feel that divine energy flowing through you. Slowly open your eyes now, brothers and sisters. Allow your gaze to once more rest on the face of the Divine Mother. Rub your palms together, pass over your face and your entire being, retaining that divine energy. We now join together in Arati, to be followed by closing prayer. Those of you in your puja rooms, you can perform your Arati to the Divine Mother. Wherever you may be, offer your Arati to her as we engage in our puja room. once more gaze at the wonderful form of the Divine Mother. As this wonderful stotra is being chanted to close, I invite you all to please pray to the Divine Mother. Seek her blessings, the removal of all troubles, all sankat, all difficulty, all sickness. Let us all pray to her and seek her blessing. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुः च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ सतो मा सर्गमयं तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमयं मृत्योर्मामृतं गमयम्। ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से श्री गणेश भगवान की जय, मारुति महादेव की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, शिवपुत्र हनुमान की जय, आज शक्ति जगन्माता देवी मैया की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। Around you, Satway, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. Devotees, brothers and sisters, this brings us to the conclusion of our satsang this morning. We thank you for joining with us. We hope that it has been uplifting and positive. And we once more extend a very special invitation to all of you to join us this evening for Navratri Pujas. We continue our puja to the Divine Mother from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Please join with us as we engage in puja, in havan, in singing of kirtan, in mantra japam, and in meditation. We look forward to seeing you all with us this evening as we join together as one family. Om Namaskar Jai Sri Ram.